Now let's move to the next option, which is course setting. Course setting does not have much to learn about. It's just the course details basically. So it has a course name, it has the access code, the course code, start date, end date. Once here, if you have set the end date, then after the end date, students will not be able to access any of the information in this course. They will not be able to access the course content, not the quizzes, assignments, discussions, nothing from this course, right? Then you have description if you want to add anything for yourself. Right. One more thing which is really important for you to know is that access code can be reset. So, as we were discussing earlier, let's say if you know that your access code has been compromised and some people are just trying to access your course whether they should not be, then you can simply reset this code, and if anyone has this previous code, then they will not be able to join your course anymore. All right, now let's move to the next option, which is a virtual classroom. So virtual classroom is a great feature if most of your students or all of your students are in different geographical locations. You can create a virtual classroom for them, and when this starts, everyone can join you up there, and you can teach them up through your own live webcam. There's a whiteboard, where you can upload your own PPTs, you can upload your own file types, you can share their file with them, you can share your own computer screen with them and can teach them. The students can ask you questions using the chat option there. It is really handy and it is really good for an instructor to use, to give live training sessions to a student. Apart from that, we even have an option where you can record this whole session of yours, because there might be an option, right, where all of your students were not able to attend that particular session of yours. Then you can simply record it. There is no limit on the length to what you record. You can record it to any extent, and then you can share the link of your recording video with your students, and from there they can learn whatever happened in that session if they were not able to attend it, right? And yes, so virtual classroom is really good and really handy. Now let's just see how do we add a virtual classroom. It's really simple. You just have to enter the name, you have to enter the description, enable recording for this conference. So yes, you have to check this up. If you do not check this, you will not get the recording option while you are doing the conference. Then we have the advanced option, which has individually assigned. So if you'll remember, this is same thing which we had in discussion and announcement. Nothing new to be explained. And yes, that's how you just create an classroom, and everybody will get a message that there's a conference going on, and they simply click on their course on the course homepage, just like the announcement. They'll get an option to join it from there. They can do it from there. Either they can go to their classroom page. From there, they can click on the join button while you are live, and then they can see you live and can attend the virtual classroom. So that's all about virtual classroom. Now let's move to the next step, which is attendance, and the final step for the instructor account. So here you can mark your students as present and absent on a daily basis, and then you can see the weekly basis, attendance as well. You can go back to the previous weeks. You can, move to the next weeks, and it's really good to use, really simple to use. If you wish, you can mark all your students, mark all present, and then while you're going through, if someone is an absent, you can choose them as absent. If someone is on leave, you can type them as leave. If someone is already sent an excuse to you, you can simply put an E there, right? So really easy and really handy to use, and that's how you can mark all your students really quickly, right? So yes, that's it about all of these left side menus. Now let's learn a few more about the application, few more things, few more tweaks up here at the dashboards. Then there's something which is really handy for the instructor, and is really something which should be used. It's a kind of a shortcut. This green color button, it is called a course switch button. So let's say right now we're on the attendance page of the business analyst course, right? And I wish to move to the same attendance page of some other course. All I have to do is click on that, click on the name of other course. Let's say I want to go to SQL, and now I will be redirected to the same attendance page of that particular course. So as an instructor, it basically saves you a lot of time, right? Else you'll have to go back to the courses list up here. You select the SQL and then you click on attendance. So it saves you few clicks there. So right now we're in the attendance page of SQL as we see here, right? So let's go back to our course business analyst, and we're back there. Now let's go to the dashboard. So the first option we have here is a course. So here again you have an option to add a course. Next is join. So now if you have received an access code from some of your instructor, if they want you to join, you simply need to type in the access code you have received from them. Even your students does it in the same manner. So they type in the access code here, click on join course, and then they can view all the data of your course, right? Next is just view all, so you get the list view which we saw previously of the course page. Next is a calendar. So calendar basically helps you understand the due dates, whenever is the due date of your test or your assignment. So in the month of February we don't have any due date, in the month of March as well we don't have any due dates, but in the month of April we have two due dates, right, for two tests here. So we can see that here in our calendar. Apart from that, you can create an event and an assignment as well from this calendar. So assignment is we have something which I've already learned, we've already seen. Let's see how we add an event. So to add an event, you need to enter the title, you need to set the start date and the end date, then we need to have a description about that, and then we have assign two options. So you would like to keep it just to yourself, or if you would like to create it for the whole course, for some other whole course, then all of the students will see this event in their calendars as well. So really amazing feature, if you wish to create an event for everyone or for yourself, really helps you a lot. Really simple. That's it about calendar. Now let's move to the message option. So this messaging option is again great here. It shows you your inbox, sent items, and trash. So you can simply compose a message. All you have to do is just click on this top bar here and you get a list of all the students who are related to you, or all the other members, all of your colleagues, and you can simply keep on adding them here. Type in your subject and send an email to them. It's as easy as that. Once they receive an email, they get a notification here by number 1 2 3 4, and then they can check their emails from there, or their messages from there. Next is a help button here. Under help, you can report a bug to us. If you're facing any trouble, you can simply click on report a bug and send that information to us. And even we would love it if you can send us some feedbacks. That is a great motivation for us and a great thing to learn from you as well. Then we have account settings. So if I go into account settings, so the account settings hold all the information for me as myself. So I can change my profile picture here. I can add some information about myself. My name, date of birth, username, password can be changed. My time zone, the courses for which I'm enrolled, or either I've created, the learners, students which are there who are taking your courses, and your colleagues. So you basically get all in all information about yourself right up here at the account settings page. So that's it about the instructor account. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the student's account. Now I'm just going to go ahead and log into the student account, and I'm going to use the account of Jordan here. We'll sign in, and as we see it here, the same dashboard, same intuitive, same really easy to understand dashboard is here. Right, we have a notification for 3 messages up here, which we're discussing just a few minutes ago when we're in the instructor page. And yes, that's how the application looks like. Just a few minor changes in the student account and the student dashboard. Here we see the total number of tests we have from all of these 3 courses, and the total number of assignments for these 3 courses. Right, and this monthly analytics again here is an a customizable graph which is created as per your requirement, as per the client's requirement. As you wish, it will be recreated for you. Now let's go ahead and look into the courses, how those things look like for a student in the course. So yes, this is a list of his course, right? And we're going to go to the same course which we were using earlier. But before we do that, here we have a join button for the student. So because students cannot create a course, then they do not get anywhere an option to add a course, which we get in instructor's profile. But here we have an option only to join. So we click on join course, and he needs to type in the access code which he has received and click on join course. So yes, now let's go ahead and see his business analyst course. So a student has a really small menu here on the left hand side. Right at the top here, if you remember, we were talking about the announcements, right? So this is an announcement which he has received from instructor. It's about his holidays. So for now, we're gonna just close this announcement and proceed further. So this is our summary, and we get all the summary here. These are all the awards, all the badges which I have received as a student from the instructor. Then I have the syllabus. I can go through the whole syllabus as a student, that what all I will be learning from this course. All the same, data which you've already been through. If I wish, I can take a printout of that, and yes. Now let's take a look at the test. How does the test looks for the student? So okay, so this is a list of our tests, which have been assigned to this student for this particular course. And now let's start this test, which is test 3 for this module. Let's open this one up first. And yes, here I have some information about the test. I have total number of questions, total number of points, due date, some instruction that attempts all the question, and allowed attempts. So here I have, you may attempt this test. Here I have unlimited attempts, right? So I have an option to view my attempt history as well. We're gonna see that later. First, let's start the test and see how all questions, looks like, and how do we answer these questions. So on the right hand side, we have all the questions there. So we have total 11 questions, and if you wish, you can click on any of the questions and you're taken to that question. So for now, we're gonna go back to question 1 and just gonna do a few tweaks here, and yes, we're gonna click on next. So if you see here, as you answer any question, it is marked as blue. Right now I can move to next question. The ones which are not been marked, they are right in gray here, right? Okay, so now so it's simple as that. You can keep going we come to the last question here, and we're gonna mark it as true, and we're gonna submit this test. So because I've not submitted most of the answers, it is giving a warning that you have 7 unanswered questions. But for now, we're gonna click on submit anyway. Alright, so we get a success report, test saved successfully. Alright, so now I'm redirected back to my test page where I can see my attempt history. So let's see that as well. So I've attempted this test twice and I've not been graded for the same yet. It took me approximately 1 minute and 5 seconds, and I've attempted 4 questions here, and I'll simply review this one. So here this test has unlimited attempts with the correct answers. Here I can see all my correct answers. If you remember, same which we discussed while we were creating test from the instructor account. So I can see all the correct answers and all the incorrect answers. So the ones which I haven't attempted, they have no correct answers. And yes, so now let's go back to the test page, and that's how the tests look like. Now let's move to the next menu, which is assignments. Under the assignment category, you see all the list of assignments where you see due date, your points, and everything up here. And we're gonna go ahead and open this assignment, which is business case assignment. So this is my description for the assignment, and from here, I can make few comments if you remember. And then we have to submit the assignment. I get this option, click here, and I get an option to either text, I can type in, or either I can upload the file. I can choose, any file from my computer, PPT file, a Word file, an Excel file, anything like that, and I can simply upload it right here. So that's how you submit an assignment as a student. Really easy. Now let's move to members. Under members, we see all of our instructors and students, and we cannot do anything in the student page apart from just sending them message. So I can send message to every student, from here as well, a personal message which I can send from by going here as well. So nothing fancy here, and let's move quickly to the next option, which is learning module. So learning module is as same as the course content. It's just we have named it different. So as we said earlier, that the application is 100% customizable, so you can change the name of the menus as well from your admin panel. Right, so for this student, we have few requirements, right? So 2 have already been met, 1 hasn't been met. This is why we have this orange bar. Once I view this one here, so this was a file which has been downloaded to my computer, and I get this option which says view and requirements have been met for this particular module. Apart from that, if you remember, we were talking about the certifications, right? If there is a test in the module, you can add a certificate. So this is an icon for the certificate, right? If I have, if this test, there was this test, which student has submitted and he has achieved the required score for that. So if the student wants to see his certificate anytime, or if he wishes to download or print it, all he has to do is click on this, the icon, and his test and the certificate will be opened in the next tab. I'm sorry, but I cannot show you the certificate right now for the confidential purpose. So yes, that's it about the you know learning module. A student can learn throughout step by step, can see all the modules and can get certificate. Once requirements are complete, he knows that everything has been completed. And yes, that's how the learning module works. I hope you've understood this, because this is the most important part of our application. And how good the better you create your learning module or your course content, the better you can convey your course, or the better way you can teach the course to your students. Now let's move to the next part, which is announcements. So this is just a page where you see all the assignments. A student can see all of his bundle assignments, announcements, sorry, whatever has been, made from his instructor side. Next is discussion. So as a student as well, it's give you almost the same look, right? The list of discussion and the closed discussions. And we see that number of discussions here, number of, sorry, comments here are almost 4. And I can go ahead and open this particular discussion. Yes, so this looks almost as same as the instructor account, right? Because there's nothing to submit, there's nothing to, answer or anything like that. It's just the commenting type. So as a student, you can comment here, you can like anybody's comment. So the discussion part is almost as same as the instructors. The whole look is pretty much the same, because there's nothing to submit. It's only about commenting over the particular topic, or over the particular discussion. And yes, students can do that. You guys can, as a student, you can reply over anything, you can make your own comment and things like that. Then we have student grades. So here you see all of your grades, for each of your assignments and tests. Here as well you have a filter from which you can choose from. So let's select test only. And now students see only his grades for his test. Total is 23.20%, and all his grades. So really easy to understand. Now let's go to next page, which is conference. Conferences does not hold anything here. If you missed out on your conference, then you'll have to send a personal message to your instructor, and he will send you a link over there. From there you can check out the recording. But from here, you do not get any option to check out the recording by yourself. Then once the conference is created, you get an option here, and then under the new conference you get an option to join on that. As you click on join, you will be taken to your conference page where you can learn from your instructor. That's it about the student's account, and there's nothing much to explore here, because student can only follow the methods or follow the steps which are there for him to learn from his instructor. So here he can only take instructions from his instructor, and cannot do anything much of his own. So rest all of these options are pretty much the same. The calendar is same. The messaging option is as same as the instructors, which you've already seen. So yes, that's all about the student account. In case if you have any queries, you can get back to us on the emails which are written here, and we would love to help you out. Thank you for watching this demo. You have a great day ahead.